Whew. Okay, so I'm doing 3 of these like back to back today. Hopefully I get them done. I don't edit, so love that for me. But I'm going to do my slash fest that I did for October. I'm going to talk about that. Then I'm going to do another episode talking about Indigenous peoples, like Native American History Month. And then I'm going to do my December. Oh my gosh, I have so many that I have to catch up on. You know what? There's going to be a bunch. So boom, 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 back to back. Let's start with spooky season. I know I already posted 2 episodes for this, but I have to this will be super quick. So for spooky season, I did a little slasher fest, and I watched the 3 classic slasher franchises. I watched Halloween, Friday the 13th, and Nightmare-on-Elm-Street. And then I threw in a couple like Blue Hue franchises. I Know What You Did Last Summer, Scream. What was the other one that I watched? Can't remember. Doesn't matter, I guess. If I can't remember, it doesn't matter. So, Scream, always a win. Loved every movie. I can't remember which one, but it was kind of lame. But Aunt Jackie was in it, so love that. Yeah, they were all good. Dewey dying broke my heart. That was fucked up. I shouldn't have had to deal with that. Probably the worst death I've had to watch in a really long time. Although he did die a hero's death. I Know What You Did Last Summer. The first 2, super good. Like, I loved the first one. That made sense. Second one, ooh, he's coming back. He's coming back for you. That made sense. Third one, what a load of shit. What a load of horseshit. That was the worst movie ever. I don't know how to explain how that story arc did not make sense whatsoever. I will say this. It keeps you on your toes. So there's not like much that I could say about the first 2 that haven't already been said about good and bad. Okay? The third one, though. There's so many opportunities for the killer to be any one of the characters of that movie. Like, any character that is introduced, you're like, oh, they're definitely the killer. And then they introduce a new character, and you're like, oh, wait a second. No, they're definitely the killer. Then they introduce another one. Oh, my God, that is definitely the killer. Turns out, nobody's the killer. It's the old killer from a seaside town, come all the way to Colorado, the ghost. Are you kidding me? Doesn't make sense. Stupid. 8 out of 10, but will not ever watch it again. Appreciate the Blue Hue movie. When watching the slasher movies, though, let's get into this. Because I wanted to see, like, who is truly the, like, best slasher series. Let's talk about Nightmare on Elm Street, because that is terrible. Like, the first one, even the second one, good. First one's great. First one is scary, you know? Second one, it makes sense. So, after the second one, though, like, I didn't even finish this series. It's that terrible. I was like, I'm not doing this. I will not subject myself to this. I got 4 deep, 5. I don't know. Freddy Krueger with his one-liners and, like, when he started talking at all, that's just bad. All the parents are fucking dense as fuck. Like, this thing happens, like, every, like, what? Few years, this same phenomenon, and none of you, like, are taking it seriously yet. You're morons. Also, I think it was the 3rd one, maybe the 4th. I sat down to, like, make my Tink costume, right? My Tinkerbell costume, and I'm working on it. I realized I'm 40 minutes, or not even 40 minutes, like, probably a half hour into the movie, there's already, like, people who are dead, but, like, they don't even introduce these kids. They're just like, oh, this person's dead now. Oh, this person's dead now. Like, they're just wiping out kids. There's no story plot other than this is Freddy Krueger. He just killed that kid. Like, if you know the plot, feel free to explain it to me. I probably will not care still. But if it's some important revelation, would love to hear it. Next, let's talk about Friday the 13th. Scary. Like, it was scary. Like, the first one, terrifying. Oh my God, they did it so well. Like, you never actually, like, see, I don't know. There's so many, because you see him, him. You see, like, these dark doorways, and you see dark spaces in between the trees, and they pan to spaces where you know somebody's at, but nobody jumps out. And then somebody jumps out. Like, it's very, it's so well done. I was scared, like, genuinely. And I remember watching these films, like, when I was younger, way before I was at the age that I should have been watching them. But I did not recall most of them, like, at all. I remember for Nightmare on Elm Street, I remember the Johnny Depp scene where he gets pulled into the bed. And I remember the one girl getting pulled up on the ceiling and chopped up to death. And then I remember in Friday the 13th, the boat, when he comes up out of the boat. Completely illogical. Does not make sense whatsoever. Still loved it. But yeah, all of that was good. Like, at some point, though, he's got to die. Like, let him die. But I guess not. I guess that just doesn't happen. However, so I want to move on to Halloween because those two series are great, but let's be real. Halloween it's the best. It is the best. Like, first off, every movie starts exactly where the last one left off. Okay? Take out the third one because I don't know what the fuck was happening there. But I waited the whole movie for Michael Myers to show up. He never did. And I realized, oh, this is like a totally different thing. Right? Great. Didn't like that one. It wasn't bad. I just didn't like it. And I think that's because this is how I explained it to Keith. You know how when you take a drink of something and you're expecting, like, I don't know, sweet tea, but it ends up being like Pepsi, and even though you love Pepsi, like, it's not sweet tea, so it tastes nasty for a second. That's kind of how the third Halloween was for me. Okay, great. All the other ones, though, right up to Halloween Ends, wonderful. Loved them. Little eccentric, but their story plot carried with, like, it. There were holes, but it was fine. It was good. 10 out of 10, hands down. What is it, like 73 years, 71 years of this movie, of this franchise? Wonderful. It's fucking great. I just love it. Has it been that long? Yeah, I think so. I'm not sure, but it was delightful to watch. The last one, loved it, cried, blah, blah, blah. I feel like I'm rushing this to get my episodes done, and I should not be. Okay. I don't know what movies, I do know what movies came out first, like before the other one, because I wrote them down, their title and their year that they came out. But for this, like, few movies, Friday the 13th and Halloween were literally copying each other scene for scene. Both movies, at one point, have this scene where the guy walks into a cabin or, like, a shed type of thing. like the killer does. And there's somebody hiding in the closet, and he opens the closet, and the girl comes out with a chainsaw. Like, that's, and kills, well, it doesn't kill them because they don't die, but you know what I mean. All that. There was another part, but I'm forgetting because this was in October, and I've watched so many movies since then. Anyways, the slasher films, they were all great, except Nightmare-on-Elm-Street. Fuck that franchise. Like, it was so cheesy. I guess people will find nostalgia in that. That's fine. You're entitled to enjoy Nightmare-on-Elm-Street franchise. I, however, will not. Let me see. Oh, I loved how Halloween Ends was done, but I already talked about in the last episode. That was perfect. Perfect. Anyways, I guess that's it. I know that this Halloween coming up, because it's February now, Happy Black History Month. I'll talk about that in another episode, towards the end of February, though. This Halloween 2023, I'm going to be watching Stephen King films. All my favorites, a few that I haven't seen, all that. I'm super excited, but that will be at a later date. So, I guess this is only a few minutes long, but I don't know. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed sitting down with a snack and a candle lit and cozy blanket, watching slasher films. Like, that truly is such a, like, chill existence. Just right there, like that. Crispy air, cozy blanket, candle. Scary movies. Loved it. I made candy apples for the first time. There were a couple Frankenstein-looking apples, but what can you do? All right. Oh, and I have a Facebook page for Featuring Jessie. I also have an Instagram. But so hear me out. I deactivated my Facebook with my old Featuring Jessie page. It wiped out all my posts, all my reviews, 2 years worth of stuff, of posts, just gone. It's very upsetting. What can you do, though? Right? But I made a new page, brand new. I'm not going to and start inviting people for another year after I've made, a semblance of posts and get back to recording because my recording schedule is stupid. I'm like, oh, you know what? I haven't recorded a Featuring Jessie podcast in a really long time. Let me do that real quick. Dumb. Anyways, spooky season was great for me. I made 3 podcasts about it. I'm going to make a few more today. Not about Halloween, though. Okay, bye.